Welcome to my reactions of day 17 of the NBA playoffs. And yeah, let's get into it. Bucks Heat. This one, I just want to focus on Budenholzer's rotation. I know everyone's kind of stripped the threads, but it's not that good. He's got to shorten them a lot. In the first quarter, it looked like he was shortening his rotations a lot. Giannis played something like 9 or 10 minutes in the first quarter. I thought that was really good. Middleton, I played something like 8 or like 9, something like that. So that was really good. And then the second quarter, he kind of let it go a little bit. And yet they were still leading. And they were still kind of leading in the third, despite Giannis. He looked a little injured. I think, it was the third quarter, something like that happened. He was driving to the basket, and I think he did something with his leg. I don't want to speculate too much, but he definitely was hobbling a little bit afterwards, and for the rest of the game, kind of. Back to Budenholzer's rotation, it's really bad. Giannis only played 35 minutes. Middleton only played 36. It's not that good. The Bucks, they did not shoot well from the three today. They shot 29% from the field. Giannis, he shot 0 of 7. Sometimes that three-pointer, even though it's there, sometimes it's a little bit inconsistent. Back to the rotation thing before I go into my reaction to that. 40 points from the Heat and 13 points from the Bucks fourth quarter. I actually kind of made a rotation for the Bucks because I don't want to be criticizing someone and be bad, but I feel like it's kind of unfair unless you could say you could do it too. But here's my rotation for it. So I would have Bledsoe starting with 35 minutes at the 1. I would have Hill with 13 minutes on the point guard position, and then he would switch over to the shooting guard position. He would play 7 minutes. It was hard finding minutes for Hill. If I would do a redraft for this, I would kind of try to find more minutes for Hill. Going to the Wesley Matthews minutes. Dante and Korver, I had a hard choice choosing between whether I was going to give someone 9 minutes and 0 minutes. So I kind of just stuck between. Dante's the more well-rounded player, but what from Korver brings from the three-point line, I think that's very needed, and he's really good, and especially in this kind of offense. So that's why Korver has 4 minutes there, even though he's bad on defense. And Eric Matthews, he's the best wing defender, so kind of deserves those minutes, starting 30 minutes. Christian Middleton, he's going to get the majority of the minutes at small forward at 38. Maybe you put him at shooting guard sometimes, but I think he gets his majority of the minutes at small forward or at the 3. Pat Connaughton, he gets 10 minutes. He can shoot the 3. He's pretty good. That's kind of the best player they have, and they got to arrest Middleton at some point. Giannis, he plays 24 minutes of his 38 eventual minutes in my rotation at power forward, and William plays 14 minutes as he's a backup. He plays 22 minutes, around 20 minutes in this series. I think it's a little too much in my opinion. At center, Lopez is going to get the majority of the minutes. He's going to get 34 minutes because he's their best center. And Giannis might get some small ball 5 minutes because I just like him at the small ball 5. And he's going to get 14 minutes there. And yeah, that's kind of how I divide the center minutes. Before I get into this fourth quarter, actually 2 things to mention. One about the game, one about video technical issues. I'm going to have a little technical issues with my videos right now. That's why the audio isn't really synced up to the pictures on the video. It's a couple seconds behind if you look at the rotation part of it. There's that. And now let's get into the second one I mentioned about the game. The Heat shot 38.3% from 3 today, which was huge for them. And now let's go into that fourth quarter. Jimmy Butler, what a game he had. He had 30 points tonight. 7 of 13 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3, and 14 of 19 from the free throw line. They tried to put Giannis on him in the fourth quarter. Even that didn't work. Jimmy Butler was just too unstoppable. And on the offensive end, the Bucks just could not score. They could not just seem to figure it out. They put DiVincenzo at some point. They tried to put Korver in there as well. They just couldn't really figure anything out. They were just taking everyone out if your name wasn't Giannis. I think to conclude, I do think Budenholzer is going to get fired. There is a lot of pressure on the Bucks right now, especially with Giannis's free agency, and especially because they let Malcolm Brogdon go in free agency a year ago, and that was due to the luxury tax. concerns for the Bucks. So yeah, there's a lot of I think there's a lot of pressure for the Bucks to find or to please Giannis in a sense. So I mean, they're probably gonna fire Budenholzer after they lose Game 4 or Game 5. Now let's talk about how the Lakers were blown out by the Rockets tonight. This game was actually kind of really competitive for a while. The Lakers were only down by 6 in the fourth. I mean, first of all, Lakers didn't shoot well. They shot 28% from the field, which is not good. I'm just going to run through a little bit of the people's shooting performances. LeBron James, 2 of 7 from 3. I think he took a lot of... I'm not going to doubt LeBron James because, I mean, he's one of the smartest basketball players of all times. But I think he took a lot of shots, and he took a lot of shots where he would basically do the LeBron James thing where you kind of dribble once and then you slide to like your left or right maybe, and you pull up from 3. And I don't really think that was falling. And once that started falling, I would just kind of stop taking those shots. We're going to run through some other guys. Danny Green, 2 of 7. Caldwell Pope, 1 of 5. Kuzma, 1 of 4. Rondo actually was kind of good, surprisingly, 2 of 5. If he can make threes, that would be huge for them because literally he's such a great passer. And the problem is his spacing. When he's on the court, spacing isn't that good because you can leave him open from 3 because he's not a good 3%. He's not a good shooter from 3. Waiters, I mean, he kind of came in at the end, so it doesn't really matter. And Caruso was 2 of 5. They did not shoot well from 3. And they also let the Rockets gang rebound, which is an official term. Which gang rebound, if you don't know, is when everyone on the team rebounds the ball, and they don't try to push up the court before. They just try to get the rebound before. So it's like kind of like, I mean, that's kind of it. I kind of described it well, I think. The Rockets, they didn't outscore them in rebounding, but the rebounding was 41 to 41. Now the Rockets, their tallest guy is 6'8". Lakers have a bunch of 3 guys over 7 foot. That shouldn't happen. If you let that happen, then you're letting the Rockets win by playing small ball. It just shouldn't happen. And in the fourth quarter also, the Lakers weren't really, I mean, Anthony Davis and LeBron James. Anthony Davis only had 6 points and LeBron had 0 points. So, I mean, that can happen also. And despite all this, despite the rebounding and all that stuff, they were still in this game until LeBron and AD kind of just went cold from the field. I mean, that's all the reactions from this game I have. Harden, he played really well from the field. He had 36 points, 12 of 20. Again, if he can get his 36 by shooting 15 shots, he shot 20 shots tonight. But I mean, that's kind of, if you're not, the goal is 25 shots. He should have to shoot at least 25 shots to get his like 30 points. If he has to do that, then you're good. But if he only has to shoot 20 shots, then you're kind of, you're not containing him, as I say, or as everyone says. I don't know why. I said it like I'm the only one who says that. Westbrook, he played well tonight. 24 points from the field, 10 of 24 shooting. He was really good in transition tonight. Again, he had 9 rebounds. I just want to highly discredit him. The Rockets had 4 offensive rebounds. I know that like 4 offensive rebounds isn't like a huge number, but how does that happen? I mean, they just look the one. I don't know. It was a poor performance from the Lakers tonight. I mean, I'm not trying to. I want to keep it like professional. I don't want to like sound like I'm being too hard on them, but I don't know. It wasn't a really good performance for them. And they were still in it late. I mean, they were still in it with like 9 minutes left, and like this was kind of like the worst outcome. This is like if you had me say what would be the most like worst outcome for the Lakers, it would probably be this. Except Rondo playing well. As I said before, shooting and spacing, that's really key for him to be really good because he's a really good passer. Yeah. I mean, that's really it. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like all I got. The one thing that's kind of hopeful for the Lakers is that they shot horrible in game one, versus the Blazers. That's not really something like you can really like point at and say, like make a point about it, but it's just like it's not really a coincidence, but it's similar. Like maybe they have slow starts in these series. Yeah, I mean that's really it. That's where I'm gonna conclude this video. And yeah,